Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Heyo! Hello. Welcome to Ramblings of an Insomniac. Hello. I am Courtney. How the heck are you? I'm just checking in, touching base, wondering how you are all holding up, how you hanging in. If you ever want to email me, I think I've said this before, but you can do so at ramblingsofanInsomniac49 at Gmail. RamblingsofanInsomniac49 at Gmail. I've been getting no emails. None. I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you think I'm doing. I want to hear suggestions. I want to hear constructive criticism. I will ignore those that are just out to be hateful and say hateful things because they have nothing better to do with their time than to be hateful and mean. Don't those people just irk you? Those that just go out of their way to be mean, to be bullies? Man, I had a boss like that. I had a boss that just all she could do was bully. She loved being in control. She loved being the alpha. Her favorite thing in life was to get her way and see if she could bully her way into things. I think she was genuinely allergic to being empathetic, compassionate. Anything that she did, it was 1000% for her own good. If she did anything nice, if she did anything kind, it was only because she knew she was going to get something out of it. Isn't that sad? I can't imagine being that way. I can't imagine being a person that only does kind things. I mean, once in a while, we all do it. Come on, let's be honest. Raise your hand if you've ever manipulated a situation just a bit so that you can gain something out of it for your own personal gain. We have all been kind or maybe done something nice in hopes that they would do something nice and kind in return, in hopes that maybe they would remember the favor that we did and maybe, do us a solid later. That's okay. That happens. We all do it. But if that's your goal, if that's what you're always doing, if your intent is to use people or manipulate people, I'll never forget one day I was talking to her husband and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you should talk to my wife about that. She's really good about being manipulative. She's great at being manipulative. If you ever want, a class, she should teach a class." And of course, she shot him a look like, "What the hell, dude? What are you telling her? What are you talking about? Why are you saying that?" Not because, as in, wow, that's not true. She wasn't looking at him as in, why are you saying untrue things? It was more like, hey, don't let the cat out of the bag. Hey, don't, let her on to my wicked ways. Which what's funny is she thought that she was so much more, she thought that she was so cunning and that no one was onto her. She honestly thought she was so smart and shady that she did a really good job at being a wolf in sheep's clothing, but everybody was onto her. So it's funny. It's like, wow, you are so up your own ass. You are so narcissistic that you think you're pulling off being shady. No, she did a really good job at being a bitch, at being a bully, at being a narcissist, at being all about herself and being manipulative. She did that very well. And it's just weird. It's weird that there are humans like that out in the world. But like I always say, we have to have the narcissists so that we can appreciate the selfless people. Sorry, I'm throwing a ball. As usual, I'm throwing a ball for my dog, and I'm always sounding breathy and like some porn video or something. I'm always like, I sound like a freaking creepo porn. You are not turning into something dirty, I swear. It's just me being out of shape. And also you can hear my dog panting in the background, so that sounds weird also. But anyway, yeah, trying to wrap my head around narcissists. And that seems to be like the world now, right? The Democrats seem to be very up their own ass, very much loving their own ass. They shave it, they bleach it, they pluck that thing so that they can fit comfortably right on up it, so that it doesn't, so in their world, their own ass just smells like roses. And they think if they do a really good job at bleaching it and, cleaning it up and giving it an enema, that somehow it's not going to smell dirty to the rest of us. Somehow they think their ass isn't going to smell as dirty if they clean it up and act like it's, if they put on appearances. But no, we're on to you. We see, we can tell we're not morons. You're not doing a good job at hiding the fact that you are uneducated, ignorant, and narcissistic. It's pretty obvious. When you are parading around and rioting, setting things on fire, breaking windows, harming people, when you're going around chanting, from land to sea, set Palestine free, you just look dumb. And we're aware of the things that you are saying. We're aware that when you're chanting uneducated things, you look uneducated. You're not disguising yourself as a smart person when you are saying idiotic things, and you're screaming at the top of your lungs, and you're burning the flag and spitting on the flag and macing cops and hitting people and blocking people in and not allowing them to get to or from work. And you're breaking windows and you're looting and stealing things. You don't look educated. You're not coming across as educated. You're not fooling anybody. You just look stupid, disrespectful, unethical. But hey, if that is the persona you want others to see, more power to you. You just go ahead and be the best idiot, uneducated idiot you can. Be the best moron you can be, Ugh. Surrounded by them lately. I don't know. What is this world coming to? Where is our future headed? Bon, come on. Good girl. Come on, Bonnie. Bonnie has been the star of a lot of my episodes lately. I think she's feeling left out and she's trying to figure out ways to be a part of the podcast. Come on, Bon, let's go. So that is something that has been keeping me up, not allowing me to sleep. Morons and people that think they're clever and getting away with something when the whole world sees. We're like, hello, we see you. It's that dog that, like a really big dog, like a Great Dane, that thinks if they really, really slowly climb up onto your lap and they do it one paw and then another paw and they take their time, somehow they think it means we won't see them or we won't notice that a gigantic dog is trying to pretend they're a teeny tiny dog or a teeny cat climbing up on our lap. That's what the Democrats remind me of right now. Not just Democrats, I'm sorry. I won't single Democrats out. There are Republicans that act like morons. Everybody acts like a moron. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what your sexual orientation is, your religion is. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican, libertarian, whatever. We all have done shady things. Got a phone call in the middle of my whole thing. And I was on one of my little rolls. What the heck was I talking about? I think I was talking about bullies and how I don't understand. There are people out there that think that they're doing such a good job at looking all sweet and being Eddie Haskell. Now, not all of you will know what Eddie Haskell means. They won't get that reference. But those of you that do, woohoo! Those of you that don't, look up. Basically means wolf in sheep's clothing, acting like you are a good person in front of everybody, but behind people's back, not being great, being shady instead. I just don't get people like that. Why? What's the point, I appreciate bluntness. We have customers that come in that I've had other coworkers. They didn't like the customers that are blunt, that are direct, that are to the point, that don't mix their words. To me, they're great people. We get a lot of kind of that really, really stereotypical old farmer. I love that. I love people that have a dry sense of humor. Love myself a dry sense of humor kind of person, a direct person, someone that you get. What you see is what you get. There's no fake. There's no facade. What you see is what you get. I love that. I wish more people were that way. That would be amazing. It would be great. Unfortunately, we get a lot of wolf in sheep's clothing. So that's been keeping me up. Deceit, like our government, deceit, Bidenomics, Biden and deceit and corruption. You know, this administration has done nothing but try to pretend that they are doing great for the American public. Oh, look, free this, free that. No, it is not free. It comes out of someone's pocket. It's not free. It certainly is not. It's coming out of my pocket. It's coming out of the American hardworking people's pockets. That is eye off the ball, smoke and mirrors. They like to pretend that things that they are doing are just so good and beneficial for us. Bon, come on. Good girl. They're like, look at here, look what we're doing. It's so great. This is for you, people of America. This is for you, American citizens, as they have illegal immigrants coming in that have nothing but our worst interest at heart. They are coming in for no good. We are allowing people on the terrorist list to come in. We are allowing cartel to come in. We are allowing people that want to sex traffic our children to come in. So much deceit, so much corruption. It goes on in government. It goes on in corporations. It goes on everywhere. No one is immune to deceit and corruption. No country is immune to it. No religion is immune to it. Yes, I said religion. There are many religions that are full of deceit and corruption. Look at Scientology. Scientology is a very, very good example of deceit and corruption. Sorry if you're a Scientologist. I may have offended you. And if I did, well, I would say I'm sorry, but that would be, again, deceitful because I'm not really sorry. It's how I feel. If it offended you, that is something I guess that you'll have to live with. But Scientology. So no religion is necessarily, I'm not saying there's a ton of corruption, or that every religion has something just terrible or corrupt about it. But there has been at one point in time some level of deceit, maybe some level of smoke and mirrors in any facet of the world. Again, it's part of the balance for every trustworthy, loyal, transparent person. There are going to be disloyal, deceitful people. It's just how the world is. It's it's how you take that on. It's how you navigate those situations, you know. Are you going to be a sheep? Are you going to follow suit? You know, we all get sidetracked by things that are shiny, by money. I mean, God, money could probably buy me a lot of things. I like money. I understand 100% how people get corrupted by money, especially if you don't come from any money, you don't have any money, you desperately need money and you want it to help out your family or your health. You need money to be able to, you know, have food, to have to go to the doctor. So I understand how people get, you know, sidetracked and get led down the wrong path when money is involved. I absolutely don't blame people that do it. It's just sad when you continue to do it and you are doing it at the benefit of yourself and then at the risk of others' happiness or health or safety, like with the COVID vaccination, that deceit. telling us that if we wore masks and if we, giving us misinformation about COVID and the vaccine and wearing masks and making us close down, all misinformation. None of it was true. None of it. And it was at the risk of our health and safety and our economy. The Biden administration did not give a rat's behind. Henry, get over here. Come on. Did not give a rat's butt about what was best for the American public. Not even a little bit. I mean, that's deceit in its highest form. When you put out misinformation, there are a lot of people that don't know to look elsewhere. They don't know to gather information, to look at many, many sites, to listen to many news media stations, to listen to different radio stations so that you can gather all the information and that there's a happy medium. You get a bunch of information maybe from the right and a bunch of information maybe from the left, and that somewhere in between is accurate. Because obviously, I'm well aware that Republicans lie. I'm not saying they don't. I'm well aware that Christians lie and Buddhists lie. Maybe, I don't think you're supposed to, but I'm sure that it's happened. So you do need to gather information from both sides and then make an educated decision. But man, how crappy is it when you are on the receiving end of a lie and you were given false information and then you turned around thinking that you had good, solid information because you thought if it come from a news station or a radio station or our president, that it's true, that it's accurate. But no, it's all about making money, the almighty dollar. We are all just pawns. And how crappy of a feeling is that? God, that keeps me up. I don't want my kids and my grandkids living in this shit. I don't want to have them be dissuaded and start having their hearts be jaded because of how corrupt everything is right now. I don't want them thinking that the world sucks and that you can't trust anybody ever. I mean, that just makes paranoia. That breeds paranoia. Ugh, so frustrating. I'm so angry with the Biden administration. How in God's name can anybody out there, I ask anybody out there that plans on voting for Biden, what the actual hell is going on inside your head? What about Biden makes you feel that he has done a good job? Henry, come on, Henry. What makes you feel that he hasn't lied, that he's not corrupt, that he's capable and will even be alive next year? What makes you think that his health is okay, his mind is okay, that the things that he has done is okay, that this economy is okay? Because again, facts and statistics are facts and statistics, not opinion. Not opinion. You cannot argue with facts and stats. So I just am boggled. My mind is so boggled by people that still feel that Biden is doing a swell job. I don't think that you're all there. I'm going to say that. It's going to probably piss people off, but it's true. I don't think you have everything there. Or again, maybe it was just misinformation. Maybe you do not watch any other radio stations. Maybe you don't listen to any other radio stations. Maybe you don't watch any other news channels. Maybe you don't listen to any other podcasts. Maybe you don't read any other newspapers. So you're just misinformed and you think that you're informing yourself because you're like, hey, at least I'm listening to the radio. Hey, at least I'm reading a newspaper. Hey, at least I'm watching the news on TV. So I'm educating myself. This is educating myself. So maybe you don't know any better. But don't you step outside and go to a grocery store or a gas station and go, wow, the price of gas has gone up significantly. The price of groceries has gone up significantly. Interest rates are higher than ever. No one wants to work anymore. Everyone's pissed off. How do you not see that? Let's say you only listen to your own little radio station or whatever, but how do you not see and hear with your own eyes and step outside of your home and not see how much everything costs and not go, something isn't quite adding up. Something seems to be off, you know? Bidenomics. Well, again, maybe it's this whole, if you're from Oregon, I understand, because apparently in Oregon, you don't have to know basic math and you don't have to know how to read. So maybe it's a bunch of Oregonians that are like, 1+1 is 4. Bidenomics. Everything's good because I'm uneducated and I don't know basic math. I mean, so I get it. I get it if you're under the age of, 12, why you would think that Biden is okay. I get it if you're an illegal alien. I get it if you're homeless. I totally 100% understand why you would be voting for Biden again and think Biden is great right now if you are homeless or an illegal immigrant. Then I'd probably want to vote for him too. Henry, let's go. Come on. So, but otherwise, I don't get it. And speaking of that, Oregon has now. So right now, you can have, I need to look this up before I start talking about it, but you're allowed to have a certain amount of methamphetamines on you without going to jail. And in Oregon, they pass out needles. And now all of a sudden, they're realizing this has created a gigantic drug problem and a gigantic addiction problem and homeless problem and mental health problem. And now all of a sudden, they're like, oh, crap on a cracker. We done fucked up. We done did it. So now they're like, oops, we need to reel it back it up. And we need to kind of make it a law now where you can't have that stuff. Well, the cat's out of the bag now. We don't even have room in our prisons. We have no room in our prisons because, again, we're trying to put a Band-Aid on a, bomb size blast of a hole. We've already created such a problem. There's really not a whole hell of a lot you can do. It starts again at mental health. We need more counselors. We need more psychiatrists. We need people to have more access to mental health. We need diagnosis at a young age of being bipolar or schizophrenic. We need people that have addiction issues to have the counseling that they need, to have the medication that they need. They need access to that. But before they become an addict, at a very young age, we need access to kids going to counseling so that maybe they don't end up being an addict. We need kids to be working hard so that maybe they aren't bored and they have an outlet instead of drugs. Maybe if they're working hard, that's their outlets and they don't do drugs. We need them to be involved in activities like band or choir or underwater basket weaving. I don't know. But be involved in being around human interaction, not just behind a computer on social media, but actually have human contact at a young age so we know how to handle life situations. And so again, our brains are not bored because usually if we're bored, we aren't going to be very productive people if we're bored. Usually we aren't going to make good choices when we're bored. And we're normally not going to make good choices if we're uneducated dummies. And we're not going to make very good choices if our parents don't stay together and we don't have a mom and a dad to raise us. We're not going to make very good choices if we have no faith. I'm not saying you have to be religious. I'm not saying you have to be Catholic or Christian or Jehovah's Witness. I'm saying you have to have faith in something. So without those things, we are going to have more addicts. We're going to have people that are depressed. We need access to mental health at an early age. We need education. We don't need misinformation. We need actual education. We actually need to nip it in the bud. We needed to nip it in the bud a long time ago. Now it's so out of control. I don't know what we're going to do. The homeless is so out of control in all these Democrat-run states. And now all of a sudden they're all going, poopy. Shiitake mushrooms. We've we really forked things up now. Crap. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You really did. You screwed things up. You screwed the pooch. And now there are a bajillion homeless people in all of these sanctuary states and all these illegal immigrants in these sanctuary states. They wanted them. They said, welcome, come on in. We will give you drugs. We will give you needles. We will give you condoms. We'll give you abortions. We will give you cell phones. We'll give you food. We'll give you health care. And then everybody else can just go fuck themselves. And now all of a sudden they're realizing that that was really stupid. And then they want everybody else to pay for their stupidity and be held accountable. Like I say in almost every single podcast I do, accountability, 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 consequences for your actions. Why am I paying consequences for other people's actions? Why then do I even bother to get up in the morning when I'm doing the right thing and I'm still getting punished? When America or people in other countries or anybody in the world is doing the right thing and they're still getting punished, it makes it really freaking hard to want to get up every morning. It makes it hard to see the bright side when you're constantly being told that it's not enough, and you have high expectations. Expectations are great. People should have high expectations, but not so high that they make it impossible to ever live up to them. It has to be at least obtainable. Right now, it's not. They just keep hiring the bar. I mean, I don't want you to lower the bar, but we don't need to make it so fucking high that Jolly Green Giant can't even reach it, that Hagrid can't even reach it. Come on. Make it obtainable. Otherwise, we're just chasing this rainbow that we'll never catch, and that's not fun. That doesn't make it worth our while. We don't want to get up every morning just to get nothing. So those things are keeping me up. You know? Can you hear the birds? Trying to listen to the birds and the wind chime to kind of cool me down a little bit. So I'm taking a breath, tapping my third eye 21 times, and I'm saying, okay, what can I control? What can I do? What solutions do I have? And I am just going to keep on keeping on. I'm going to get up every morning. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to keep myself informed. I'm going to listen to all sides, all points of view, gather information, and try to make the best choices I can for the day. I'm going to try to be the best human I can. I'm not going to step on others along the way. I'm not going to bully people. That's my goal. That's my plan. What are your plans? I want to hear from you. I would love for you guys to email me. I've received no love. I'm feeling left out. I'm not feeling loved, you guys. I want to feel the love. Email me at ramblingsofanInsomniac49 See, just let me know. Let me know what you have to say, what I could change, what you like. Let me know how you are. If you're in a different country, let me know how the heck your country is, how things are ran in your country. If you're in America, let me know what part of America, how things are going where you are in your neck of the woods. I want to hear from you. Let me hear from you. Let me hear what you have to say. I want to. All right. So until next time, thanks for listening to the Ramblings of an Insomniac.